Air conditioning 2004 Honda TSX or Acura TSX. Customer complaint, no AC. So I gauged up first because it's a Honda or an Acura. And the customer says air conditioning doesn't work at all unless there's a leak. The next more obvious thing on these cars, as a pattern problem, guys who've been doing this, is usually the relay to the compressor for the clutch. And I'm surprised I don't see my sticker under this one, but I did see. I guess I was in a rush, forgot to put on sticker. I do see I put my initials on the cap. That's one of the things I do when I do an AC, and I can write on it. As I write on it, that one faded off, but I could barely see it. But my sticker usually would probably be right about there or up on the tie bar. I did do this one before a couple years ago, and so we're just gonna jump to conclusions. We are gonna assume was something what you shouldn't do, but we're gonna go for a simple repair here. Anyone can do without tools if this is a problem. Otherwise, I just stuck my foot in my mouth. Let's confirm. I gauged up to see if I have pressure, and I do have pressure. Okay, it's on. They have the typical almost dead display here. I could barely see. And I have the temperatures down low. I have a recycle. I got AC on. I got it in face mode. I'm on a active working roadway that's pretty busy right now, so there will be vehicles going by. We have 81 psi, high and low side. Now, you don't need gauges to do this. This was just something I was checking. I already did a visual all over the vehicle, a visual looking for leaks. That was number one. Then I said, oh, do I have pressure? I did not go in there and stick something down inside and see if I had pressure. I put on my gauges, don't want to risk damaging the little pin down in the compressor. So I put on gauges, I got pressure. The next thing, coming over to, even Toyotas do this. Hondas were really famous for this. So our AC is the one with the little snowflake. There's our fan. Both fans are working, so I know the fans are okay. Here's our temperature, our AC, and our radiator. So when the radiator gets hot, it also has it shows the relay. That would be this one right here. And then they have the other one for a fan. It just shows a picture of a radiator and a relay. That would be this one right here, but we want to go after this. So let's see if I have something to tap with. One thing you can do, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The tap test. Nothing. The next thing you can do, and all the time, let's get our gauges here. So we're at 82. I do a tap. We don't hear no click. We know we have pressure enough to close all the pressure switches. Let's pull it. Now, are we getting signal there? We don't have a test light. We know nothing about the plug arrangements. We're afraid of shorting something or doing anything. If this is good, it will make a little clicking. You can feel it click and hear it click. If I have it on. Pull that out of there. This is the other fan. Now I just killed the fan. And this fan is stopping right now. It's slowing down. Now I only have one fan. It's a cool morning. I don't worry about anything. The AC is off. So I'm gonna grab the other known good relay that I took out of that fan position. I took that out. I heard a click. Let's watch the gauges when I put it down. 1, 2, 3. Did you hear the engine go down? Did you hear the click? And now you see the gauges go. You don't need to buy on this situation. You didn't need to buy no fancy scanner. You didn't have to spend a few minutes breaking out the scanner, hooking it up, go through the menus. You didn't have to buy an expensive test probe, power probe. I don't put no links to sell you stuff. I'm just giving you in this scenario. That's how easy it is. And there comes back on that fan. Took that out. And so, and the important thing is too, the relays have the exact same part number on them. So these are all identical relays. I did not swap out any other relay. They're identical. So you also want to make sure of that. And there's not even a click. Oh, there it goes. Sometimes there's a click, but no, I could feel it clicking. So the contacts are moving and closing, but the resistance on the contacts, they're burnt, and there's so much black oxidation. Even though they close, electricity doesn't make it jump through the contacts, through the face of the contact points face, and then to the compressor. It's not working. It's physically has a little click to it, but it's not working. So that's an easy one. But the other thing I want to see is I got to find out what year I charged this in. Check the charge. I cannot check the charge with one fan not working. This system was designed to work with two fans, so you don't take temperatures or pressures with one working fan. But this will indicate to me, yes, it is working, and that's all I know. I don't know whether it's low or not with one fan not working. And I am a cool morning. And yes, for the people who like to use bubbles, it's fairly cool. Getting clear, there we go. This does not mean you are full. You could have a clear sight glass and not be full. You can have bubbles in a sight glass and you can be full. It all depends on where the sight glass is located, how the fan arrangement is. Variable compressor, what the temperature of the day will depend on what you see out of that sight glass. Do not rely on a sight glass to determine if you're full. It's like 62 degrees outside. And why am I not? There we go. It's about 62 degrees outside. I know this vehicle and how it operates. 62 degrees outside, 171 on the high side. That is way too high. Well, let's take this another scenario. What did I do? I disconnected the fan. So right now, I am imitating a scenario where one fan is dead, and possibly the customer says, when it's really hot outside, my AC doesn't work so well, especially when I'm in idle, in traffic or stop and go traffic 5 miles an hour. Customer will say, I have poor AC, even though he has a full system. Well, if it's cold outside, I will have good working air conditioning right now because outside is about 62 degrees. And I don't need much fan to cool off the refrigerant in the condenser because there's not much load. So I just simulated that. Now I'm trying to think, well, I'm gonna see if there's a relay. But if this was a 95 degree day, 100 degree day right now, this high side would nearly go to 350, 400 PSI. And you would have very poor cooling performance because of this dead fan. And then if I took out, let's see, can I steal something that is semi-similar? I have a heater. So this is an airflow heater. I can steal this one if it's the same, but I don't think I could fit it in there. Yeah, it won't let me do that. Because that was for a heating element. This is a higher amperage rating one. And actually, if I could do it, I would take a higher amperage rating and stick in here because these burn out too much. So if I put this relay back in for this fan, this would drop back down to 120 some PSI right now because of how cold it is outside. So that's another way of simulating this. But overall, what you should have gotten out of this, no fancy scanner tool, no test tool, just your brain, your hands, your eyes. You do not need this because all we needed to do is confirm whether the relay was bad by pulling it out, pushing it in. If you slightly pulled it in and out, and you feel it click in your finger, but you did not hear the clutch come on, you did not see the clutch come on, then you know it's one of two things. Either the contacts in the relay are bad, or your fuse, or for some reason you're missing power going to the power side, and it has to jump from that one copper terminal. When the contacts close, it comes out the other copper terminal, and it goes to your clutch coil on your compressor face makes ground through the coil to the case of the compressor to energize and make a magnetic field, and it pulls in that clutch face. You're not getting that. So that's all you're doing. You're doing a simple test. As long as the relay part numbers are exactly the same, and as long as you're not pulling out of something that's crucial, like a fuel pump or your EFI, or your electronic fuel injection, or ECM or anything, you don't want to pull any of those modules. If it doesn't say, don't guess. You could set codes on your car, cause problems if you're probing. This is kind of like one of the safest ways, because you're only touching what you know what it is. You're only touching and swapping with identical part numbers, and you're able to prove what's wrong. So I'm gonna go get another one of these, and I'll take a short video and show you the pressure readings. Look at here, we're almost hitting 200 psi, and it's only 62 degrees outside. So I'm gonna do a video on this, and we're gonna pretend that this was a customer who came in with poor cooling performance on a hot day, and I'm gonna stick into relay, and you're gonna watch this high side come down. Let's wait off until the next video.